Ma'am, I want, yes, ma'am.
Yes. Can you see me now? Yes.
Yeah, of course. Of course, I can see you now.
Okay, good.
A short introduction and a welcome note.
Sure.
Good afternoon, all of you. And on behalf of the organizers of Annamal College of Education, I welcome you all to the third day of the 5 days capacity building course on enhancing teacher effectiveness for creating a progressive society. We had wonderful feedback for the past 2 days, and I'm sure today too you will have an informative and inspiring session. I welcome today's speaker, Dr. Jaya Bhuminathan, who is to present on the topic Optimism and the Power of Positive Thinking. It's my pleasure to welcome and introduce Dr. Jaya Bhuminathan, who lives in New Jersey, USA. She is a microbial biochemist with an expertise in molecular biology and in particular PCR technology. It's 2:30 a.m. in the USA now, which is such an odd time. And since she could not refuse our invite, she has joined us. Thank you very much, ma'am. She is such a down-to-earth person, and thank you, ma'am, for being so approachable. She had her education in Tamil Nadu up to her doctorate and then moved to the USA in 1987 for a postdoctoral fellowship at Michigan State University. She has received patent for a novel product used for film development. From Michigan, she moved to University of California, where she has changed her field and established a molecular biology lab to identify molecular mechanisms involved in lung fibrosis. Both she and her husband explored corporate environment to apply the knowledge gained. Now, both of them work for Roche Molecular Systems since 1999. She is the senior manager of operations and her husband is the director of operations. Roche Molecular Systems produce multiple molecular diagnostic kits based on PCR technology. Recently, they have launched COVID-19 RT-PCR assay kit to test COVID patients on March 13, 2020. Congratulations, ma'am, for your new venture, which is the need of the hour. She has two children, Dr. Prabha Bhuminathan, who is a faculty at the University of Pennsylvania, and Karthik Bhuminathan, who is in health science. He is also working for Roche Molecular Systems Branchburg. We are all locked down and feeling uncertain and about everything, and at this juncture, to be optimistic is the mantra everyone must pronounce. And so this title is chosen. And when we thought who can speak about optimism and positive thinking, one of my sisters, Dr. Rosary, has chosen her since only because of her positive spirit. Dr. Jaya is doing wonderful job as a scientist in amazing America. Thank you, ma'am, for accepting our invite to present in this webinar. And I'm sure that you will give a lot of insights on the power of positive thinking to inspire our participants. Now over to Dr. Jaya Bhuminathan.
Thank you, Sharmila. Yes. Thanks for your very good introduction. We can start. Give me a second. How about now?
Yes. We can see PPT.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, perfect.
Now you see the full screen? We are good?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't need that. Okay. Good morning, everyone, and good afternoon for you all. It's just starting noon. Here I want to share some of the elements of optimism. So optimism and the power of positive thinking. Let me share my thoughts, what I have collected. If you have any questions, you can ask me. We can chat further. Hold on, why is that coming? For some reason, I see the screen kind of blocked. Okay, the power of positive thinking. So what is optimism? Okay, here the British Prime Minister says he's a very well, like a established politician. And Winston Churchill said, a pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity. An optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. So we may be wondering, what is optimism? Optimism is a mental attitude. And it's a belief or a hope that the outcome of some specific work or effort will be positive, favorable, and desirable. So it is basically a mental attitude, how you perceive information. A common phrase used to illustrate optimism versus pessimism is a glass of water, like a glass filled with water to the halfway point. An optimist sees the glass as half full, whereas a pessimist sees the glass as half empty. It is all the right mindset. So how you perceive things, whether you take it kind of, oh, the water in the glass is half full, or just half empty. So that's the mindset that drives optimism versus pessimism. It is not moving.
We can see this. Yes, we are seeing the next slide.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
For some reason, the heading and things like that, I'm not able to see. That's a problem. Okay. Now, optimism and the power of thinking and the power of positive thinking. So what's the benefit of positive thinking? The benefit of positive thinking helps you to, when you start a new work, and how it helps, what are they, and how are they useful? When can I use? Where can I use? And how does that inspire anyone to do the job, like with 100% effort and focus to get the dream life in reality? There are a few elements for positive thinking. First one is the positive thinking that inspires change. If you are got up in negative self-talk, if you think of anything negative, the chance of you starting something new or making any changes are going to be quite low because you don't have enough confidence. So you need to have a kind of positive thought in your mind before you start that. So if you start thinking positively, confidence increases and you are ready to make life-changing decisions. So how you think, how you take it, how you approach, that matters a lot. Okay, you want to start a new work or a new job, or you want to take a new course, things like that. So always when you start something new, it is difficult. Whether it's a new career or work, or you want to do some job at home, you want to do a project, or at work, you want to do things differently to get the best out of it. So when you have a positive mindset, you are more at ease and getting organized, and that becomes very simple for you. That task will be simple. So above all, so positive thinking is very, very important in your life, even everyday life. Energy and enthusiasm need to be raised significantly. So if you have a positive attitude that really lifts your spirit, and you will notice an increase in energy levels, thereby the stress levels are significantly reduced. So energy and enthusiasm are critical elements to achieve things in life with positive attitude. So those are the drivers. You are more likely to stick with the changes you made. Okay, you made a change, and what are you doing here? When you start a new task, Sticking with it is very crucial or critical. Otherwise, whatever the work you put on goes waste. So a positive mindset prevents you from giving up what you have done to achieve that goal and gives you the energy to pursue further. Now, there are some techniques available for positive thinking that can change life, that can change your lifestyle, or even it will motivate you to get what you want. First, we need to experience the power of positivity. Get rid of negative attitude. Practice powerful positive thinking and embrace change. Like some people are very resistant to change, but you need to embrace change and look into the positive aspects of it. There are 5 powerful positive techniques that can change life. Number 1, you need to become more aware of your thoughts. And the first step is positive thinking. Get rid of negative thoughts. Ignore those negative thoughts. Then you will see good progress. Okay. Now, use positive statements, affirmations. That's a great way to get rid of a negative mindset. I have some examples. We can take a look at that later. As a result, the moment you start using positive statements or positive thinking, you can be more confident and optimistic and joyful. So that's what it is. Just to give you some examples of that, you can use statements like some of the things I have listed here. I'm confident in starting this new task. I can achieve whatever I set my mind to. I will overcome my fears. You have to get rid of fears. Failures or failure does not scare me. I'm getting better and stronger every day. I know that I'm worthy. I choose what I become. I'm brave enough to climb any mountain. I have the power to change my story. I am unstoppable. So this is the kind of mindset you bring in to achieve things in life, so that gives you a kind of great confidence in your work and optimistic and joyful. The third one is the visualize your goals. For your goals, you need a kind of a roadmap. What are you going to do? Have that vision in front of you and make a map of it. What are you going to do? How are you going to do that? When, where, things like that. And that reveals positive emotions all the time. The time you look at that, that gives you a kind of boost of energy. Oh, I have to achieve this milestone A to B, B to C, and things like that until you achieve that goal. So that helps you to get a positive emotion, and that enables you clearly envision what you are trying to achieve. So you need to visualize your goals. That's one of the techniques. Next one, I have meditation. That's an excellent technique that promotes positive thinking and feelings of well-being, calmness, and mindfulness. Basic meditation is actually quite simple, and you can try it anytime. Simply find a comfortable sitting position and close your eyes. Start focusing on your breath going in and out. Some thoughts will inevitably arise. Things will come, like so many things will be kind of roaming around. That's completely normal. We simply need to notice that and let it pass. And bring focus back to your breath. That will help really your well-being and influence your calmness, like help you to take decisions appropriately. And the mindfulness. So you are kind of not taking decisions in a rush. So that gives you a kind of full kind of understanding of what you need to do and things like that. Be grateful. I like this. Gratitude is a valuable emotion that inspires even more positive thoughts. Think about all the things that are good in your life right now and be grateful for them instead of focusing on the negative. sometimes when we look at that, okay, in the last 2 years or 5 years, what did I do? If you think about that and look that back, you feel kind of a sense of accomplishments. So that gives you the good, like a boosting emotion in your brain to bring in positive thoughts. There are some negative aspects, but we can ignore that so that you are not sitting on that, but check that kind of good things happened in life. And you will be really surprised how good it actually feels. Some takeaway message. So benefits of positive thinking. That kind of skill set you need that inspires change. And if you have that kind of thinking, even to start a new career or new job or new project, anything that gets easier in your life, in your way. Of course, energy and enthusiasm rises significantly. And you would love to stay with that change you made because it's new and started liking it. And it adds lots of benefits and it impacts your life. Of course, the positive thinking techniques, aware of thoughts. So just aware, when I say aware of thoughts, think positively, take those things into perspective and work on it and ignore all negative thoughts. Always use positive statements. You can do that in your daily actions. That helps you so that you add it to your lifestyle that brings you energy of like a positive thinking. Visualize your goals. Always have a kind of roadmap, what you want and things like that. Even for any teaching aspects, like you want to teach small kids or high school or higher secondary school, things like that. You need to understand their kind of feelings, how they feel, then you can adapt those changes appropriately. Of course, meditation helps anyone to bring in calmness in their life, and it's for good well-being, and it adds lots of information or to maintain your health, body. When you have your health and body in a very good condition, your thought process goes in a right direction. Of course, be grateful what you have accomplished. Ignore the negative things, but you would have learned a lot from negative things also, but you can apply that. That's a change. You can make it happen in your life. So how you go through life is up to you. What you are going to be, happy or sad, that we are the drivers to get that in place. What are you going to do? Live in the sunshine or in the shadows? You get to decide who you are, what you want to be, and do, and say, and think. Choose positivity over negativity, and your whole world will change for the better. Here I'm going to talk about the power of thinking. This is the book written by Phil. He has helped, this book is one of the best selling books in the US, and it has helped millions to reach their personal, financial, spiritual, and relationship goals. It has helped many people to replace their negative thoughts with positive beliefs. And it also helps to break the worry habit. What am I going to do? Things like that. If you have like uncertainty in your life, this book helps to break the worry habit, and also helps to generate a character which is not afraid of any situation or circumstances, things like that. Okay, believe in yourself. For some reason, it's blocking. Okay. The author says you need to believe yourself and have faith in your abilities. Also, he says, without a humble but reasonable confidence in your own powers, you cannot be happy or successful, but having a sound self-confidence, you can succeed. Self-confidence is the key in everyone's life. That really helps you to achieve things in life. He also says, Insecurity and inadequacy appears with the attainment of your hopes, but self-confidence gives you self-realization, which leads you to success. So always we need to believe ourselves and our potential. Never underestimate your self-confidence and willpower. So that's believe in yourself. Second one is the peaceful mind to generate thoughts. That's important. We may have many problems through mental thoughts, and primary method for gaining a mind full of peace is to practice emptying the mind. Get rid of those problems. Just think in a different direction so that you can generate good power. Let us say you feel the sense of relief when you just talk to someone. You want to kind of vent all your thinking or problems, things like that. If you find someone you can trust, and having that person in your life whom you can trust, can share anything, will always keep you and your mind at peace. And having a peaceful mind generates a positive power. Some people say that you can talk to someone so that you can vent your feelings and then empty your brain with all the stress, and then that brings you some good peace in your mind. And I also heard when I was in college, one of the teachers said that let us say if you have problems or you are worried about issues or things like that, go to your room, just let the wall, just bend everything what you want to say. Then you feel the kind of emptiness in your brain and get rid of all those stresses. You can do that too. So try to keep your mind away from negative thoughts. How you want to clean up your mind, that's left to you. You can do it this way. So he also suggests that you can have one person in your life to whom you can discuss all your worries and issues. How to have a kind of constant energy. So we need to have a kind of good health to understand certain things. Let us say if you want to do something, but your body does not accept it. Okay, you are kind of lazy or you don't want to do anything. Then you accept that. And at the same time, same thing you can apply there. If you're interested in something, you do, in order to do that work, you give 100%. So you prepare your mind such that you get a positive energy so that you can put 100% effort on the work you are doing. The author also says that there are some religious functions through thoughts. In fact, it's a system of thought discipline and it aids energy level. You attend any religious functions, there are some goals there, objectives there, then that gives you peace of mind, go for it. So by supplying attitude of faith to the mind, it can increase energy. And I always say positive things in your mind and try to be optimistic related to your health and body. So you need to purify your body and health in order to have kind of positive thought in your brain all the time to apply that energy in your daily actions. Try prayer power. So lots of experts in physical health and well-being often utilize prayer in their therapy. And the author says in that case, disability, tension, and troubles can generate because of lack of inner harmony, the peace of mind. So prayer shows remarkable results in restoring the harmonious functioning of body and soul. How to create your own happiness? How do you do that? So you may be wondering, who decides whether you want to be happy or not? Who decides what you deserve and what you don't? But the answer is, it is you who decides for your own self. It is on us what we choose. Do we choose happiness or do we choose to stress? Life is good if you make it good, hence always choose happiness for yourself. Everyone would have noticed that children are more expert in happiness than adults because they select happiness for themselves. They never allow negative energy to influence them. Really Pale recommends that a person who carries attitude and spirit of a child into the middle and old age is a real genius. This is really true, 100%. Yes, when the children are like a child is there, they want to get what they want in a happy way. Whereas when you get old, you think of so many things that really clouds your mind and you are not able to make decisions and things like that. So we need to have that kind of attitude and a spirit of a child so that we can overcome struggles. Stop fuming and fretting. Many people make their life unnecessarily difficult by banishing their power and energy through fuming and fretting. Just talking about that. So fuming means to boil up. You boil that, I'm talking about that, blow off or get agitated. Fret means that's also equally descriptive. Think about that, but you are not going to gain anything. So you need to stop fuming and fretting in order to be successful and focus on what you need. The best when you achieve something. Here, he got a story here. He shared a story of a man whose son for failing in every job. It was quite difficult to understand the reason behind that boy's failure because he had everything. He belongs to a good family. His educational and business opportunities are good. They were beyond the average, but still he was failing. Everything he touched went wrong. The man's son tried hard, but he still misses the success. However, later he found an answer for his failure. And after practicing that answer, he really started seeing success and acquired the touch of success. And his personality began to focus and his powers to fuse. When the author asked him the secret of success, what made you to have a sudden remarkable change to that young boy? The young boy replied that a very simple answer made his life successful. He said, a very simple thing changed everything. That simple thing is believing. He said he learned the magic of believing. He said he came to know that when you expect the worst, you will get the worst. And at the same time, if you expect the best, you will get the best. So it's a kind of mindset. His sudden success was not anything related to magic, but he had learned the most powerful law of the world. And that law was learn to expect, not to doubt. Such belief will bring everything into the realm of possibility. I don't believe in defeat. This is another aspect of it. Here, very well, he explained that if you're having thoughts of defeat, that he asks you to get rid of such thought, because if you think of defeat, then you will get it. So the ask here is, you have to have, I don't believe in defeat attitude. How to break the worry habit? Here the author suggested so many things so that you don't need to be the victim of worries, and you can reduce it by knowing what actual worry is. The worry is simply an unhealthy and destructive mental habit. If you're not born, for example, we are not born with a worry habit. We actually acquired it. And as you can change any habit or acquired attitude, you can pass worry from your mind. Since aggressive and direct actions are needed and are very essential in the elimination process of negative thoughts, you need to implement that. There is one proper and the best time for attacking worries, and that time is just now, and start overcoming and attacking your worry from now onwards. So it is in our hands to kill that worry habit. Okay, there are some powerful solutions you can have. Not every problem has like issues where you cannot solve that. You should have a belief that for every problem there is a solution. You need to you always keep calm, block the tension, and then thereby block the flow of the thought power or like the thought process, so that it doesn't intervene with your decision points. The brain cannot operate properly under stress. So you need to keep calm, tension block the flow of thought power, and have the brain power in a calm and steady position. Never force your answer. Keep your mind relaxed and let the answer become clear and visible. Assemble all the facts like impartially, impersonally, and judicially. Pray about your problems. That really helps. Trust in the faculty of insight and intuitions. Some tips for positive thinking. Use only positive words while thinking, while talking. Use words such as I can, I'm able to do that. It is possible to get it done. It can be done. Always disregard and ignore negative thoughts. In your conversation, use words that bring forth feelings and mental images of strength, happiness, and success. Before starting with any plan or action, always have a visual map in your mind as well as in front of you, and you will see the successful outcome always. Read at least one page of an inspiring book every day. Watch movies or a show that makes you feel happy. Minimize the time you listen to the news and read the newspapers. Associate yourselves with the people who think positively. You can walk or swim or engage in some other physical activity. This helps to develop a more positive attitude. Always sit and walk with your back straight. This will strengthen your confidence and inner strength. Okay, this is what I have with the positive thinking and the optimism. Any questions? Hello? Hello? Here you see the picture of my family. My daughter got married last year. This is Prabha Bhuminathan, and she got married to a handsome man, Dr. Richard Danicola, and he is also a doctor, and he works in Philadelphia at Jefferson Medical School. Here you see my son, and here my husband, Bhuminathan. Okay. Just to give you some flavor of PCR, the PCR was developed in 1983 by Gary Millis. It is a PCR technique. He shared the 1993 Nobel Prize in chemistry. The PCR is based, it's based on the natural polymerase enzyme. For the PCR reaction to occur, you need DNA sample, DNA polymerase, nucleotides, primers, and other reagents. Template DNA, DNTPs, primers, buffer solution, polymerase, cofactor solution, which is magnesium chloride, water. These reagents facilitate the reaction needed to copy the DNA code. It is recognized as one of the most important scientific advances of the 20th century. And PCR is used in a wide variety of tests to diagnose or monitor diseases or for basic molecular biology research. Just here is the cornerstone of the molecular biology, the PCR reaction. You may be wondering like what is going on. Here you have a DNA template, that's what it needs. It could be from a tumor if you're looking for cancer cells or any forensic DNA or any tissue or any like a specimen that contains a kind of disease gene. Like for example, DNTPs are used to make our new DNA templates while amplifying the target reagents. And you need two primers for the reaction, a forward and a reverse primer that binds to each of the two strands of the DNA. So that's like in a kind of a PCR, denaturation is the first step that kind of denatures the double-stranded DNA. You get a single-stranded DNA that serves as the template. And then you need primers, a forward and reverse primer that binds to the two strands of the DNA and act as a starting point for the synthesis of new strands. And then you need a buffer solution that keeps the solution at an optimal pH for the PCR reaction to occur. DNA polymerase, this is the enzyme that will actually synthesize new strands of DNA. And polymerases such as TAC are normally used. There are so many polymerases. The TAC has a kind of thermostable enzyme that is really helpful for the PCR. And then the magnesium chloride solution. This provides the magnesium ions needed as cofactor for the polymerase. And while the magnesium solution is in a buffer solution, you don't need to add separately. The concentration of the magnesium helps to determine how fast and how accurately the enzyme will replicate the sequence. Of course, you add water. So this is a kind of simple PCR reaction solution, but that's used in so many places. So how we copy a kind of DNA? The polymerase chain reaction is an efficient and cost-effective way to copy or amplify small segments of DNA or RNA. In about 2 hours, you can get one copy that can multiply into billions. So with the one cycle, like a denaturation, annealing, and extension, one copy becomes 2, 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8, it goes exponential. So this simple method allows clinicians to diagnose and monitor disease using a minimal amount of samples such as blood or tissue. This invention led to multi-billion diagnostic industries, and Roche Diagnostics is the leader in molecular diagnostics using novel technology in products they manufacture and sell. Here, just the picture how this happens. I don't want to, it's so complicated. I don't want to talk about that, just for information. Now, Roche, we have a kind of a, we are #1 in molecular diagnostic products. The products we manufacture are for virology platform. Virology, when I say virology, this is HIV, HCV, HPV, CMV. These are all the kind of things we screen people for organs, or like if they have that virus. Clinicians use this test for diagnosis and for monitoring like a therapy administration. So that's what's going on. In blood screening, we have lots of assays, PCR-based assays, screen blood free from diseased genes. Again, HIV, HCV, HPV, personal virus, B19, HIV, there are so many diseased genes. You want to make sure the blood is free of those things. So we have about like 23 markers for blood screening products. Women's health, that's a cervical cancer, human papillomavirus. We do have a test for that. And then for sexually transmitted diseases like a CTNG, it's chlamydia, gonorrhea, and then like a trichomonas, genetium, things like that. Also, we have like in the hospital environments, people develop like antibiotic resistant genes, especially Staphylococcus aureus is there. That develops resistance. So we have test for that. At the same time, we do have test for like a methicillin sensitive Staphylococcus aureus also. And we do have like a test for oncology cancer, like a BRAF, that's a skin cancer, KRAS is a colorectal cancer, and then EGFR, that's a lung cancer, things like that. Of course, then MTB, like a Mycobacterium tuberculosis, Mycobacterium avium, and things like that. We do have that. So for that, we do have lots of like instruments. It evolves so much, but that's how it works. This is just a lab in a tube, we call that. It's a brand new technology where you have just a straw in a frame, but we do have reagents in a segments. It's built like that. In the side, I have that Liat analyzer. It's a small toy like instrument, but anyone, even an 8th grader, can run that test. It's a compact and innovative real-time PCR platform designed for like a point of care situation setting in a laboratory to test and make decisions. It is mostly used for flu test, and this is the test we are also using it for COVID. So the nucleic acid testing, and it processes all the testing, fully automated, and including sample preparation, amplification, and real-time detection. So for example, you give a kind of sample, nasopharyngeal sample, or like a strep throat, the doctor takes the swab, and then it gets into the kind of, only here they add the sample, then you put it into the instrument, it gets you the results what you need. So that's all I have. Any questions?
Thank you very much, ma'am. Participants, it's question answer time. If you ask, you can ask questions about positive thinking as well as about PCR kits, since because ma'am is working on that. If you want, you can raise your hands so that we can unmute your audio. Very valuable, very good presentation. All these are coming, but not the question. Can we cure corona using PCR? This is one question.
Sure. Yes. Okay, the COVID assay, we developed a PCR assay this year. We had, as I said, like in one of my presentations, we have a 6800 instrument. Just to give a perspective of that, this is the system where we can have like several hundreds of samples tested at the same time. With that instrument, in 3 hours, you can have 96 samples processed. And it's a PCR assay. And what you need for that, you need the kind of primers so that it is COVID specific primers. If let us say you have the sample and then you extract nucleic acids from that, the instrument does that, and we make reagents for that. That's a lysis buffer. The lysis buffer has the guanidine thiocyanate and salts and like a TTD and things like that, so that you have the reduction potential under control. So the sample is extracted, you have nucleic acid. The nucleic acid has a total nucleic acid, which was RNA and DNA. But this COVID, like a gene, is RNA based. So we use the PCR where we call it RT-PCR. What it does, it takes that RNA, the primers, we have primer specific COVID, so that anneals and then amplify. So we have gene amplified for COVID. So you get the results. We developed that within like 12 weeks time period, 3 months. And now we are selling that for the entire globe. I think right now, as of now, we have generated 50 million tests as of now. We launched that product March 13th of this year, and the demand has gone up. And we have lots of reagents. But the good part here is we have established that platform 10 years ago, and we have about 25 products in that platform. So it's going good with that high throughput. So it is used in so many places. The same instrument is used for other like a diagnostic test also from Roche. At the same time, we are also coming up with another test. What I showed you, it's like a lab in a tube. For that also, we established a test where even in a small clinical setup, you have that instrument and you have the results for COVID in 15 minutes or 20 minutes. So that's what going on. For that one, we are just waiting for FDA to approve. It's in the review process. In a week or two, we will get approval. And another test, this Roche, if you think about Roche has two major sectors. One is for pharma, another one is for diagnostics. I work for diagnostics. In the diagnostics, we do have like not only molecular biology test, we do have kind of immunology test, antibody test. That was developed in Europe, Mannheim, in Switzerland, and Germany. So they developed that. That's also going very good. So there, if you have that antibody, that helps you to screen whether you have COVID or not. So the molecular biology test helps you, yes, the gene is present or not. Whereas the antibody test helps you give your blood sample and it tells you whether you are a asymptomatic, like a COVID carrier, or you don't have that. So that's a kind of thing we have. Anything else?
Another question in the chat box, and it is on positive thinking. How to help the students to get rid of fear and negative thinking?
Okay. You need to kind of motivate them. You need to motivate. In that case, okay, we need to be transparent with the like students because you are all teachers. So you need to have that kind of mindset. First, you need to understand some psychology of that child or like the student, what that person needs, what is making that person to get nervousness or fear. So help them to get away from negative thoughts. So like you may have to try a few things. Give some examples. Hey, if you think about this one, you can achieve that. You give a kind of motivation that helps them to get away from negative thoughts. Or like work with them closely. Okay, what is your fear? How we can solve that? How you can break that worry habit? Things like that.
One more question, ma'am. How to handle a depressed person?
Depressed, yes. Okay, that's also again like a kind of a, first we need to find the root cause of that depression. That's very important. So what is causing that? What is the trigger for that? If you understand that, then you can have a plan for that. So what's the cause for that? And then kind of it's not only like a one aspect will help. You need to try a few things, but psychologically you need to convert them into a kind of bringing them to a normal situation. That's important.
Thank you. And another question, how to make peace of mind long lasting?
It is always the mindset, like whether it's a long lasting or like a short living, things like that. It is always the mindset. Like think about like some positive things. Sometimes in the world, there are so many negative things that comes and influence your brain, but we need to learn that, like how to kind of get rid of that one, ignore that. So that's very important. We need to practice and then like have your thought process in a positive direction that helps you to move away from that, so that you keep your brain free of that. So like you can read about like any book or things like that, talk to someone what you are feeling, but you cannot talk to anyone all the time. You need a person who you can trust so that you get some guidance or counseling, things like that you have to do.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. One more question. How to
Sure.
ignore the negative people who are always passing on negative comments?
You know, that's a kind of challenging, yes. But the thing is, you just ignore, you avoid. That's your willpower. You need to have the willpower to get away from that. Yes, you have a kind of group of people. They always criticize, but no input for that. So in that case, we know that that's the attitude of that person. So the attitude you have for positivity play a key role here than like accommodating the negative thoughts.
Thank you very much. And one participant, she wants to ask a question to you. Mamta, ma'am. Host, can you please unmute Mamta?
Wait a minute, ma'am.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, am I
Yeah.
audible?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
Yes.
good afternoon, ma'am. It was a very well presented presentation and really helpful for us all practicing teachers. I have a query. I don't know how relevant it would be and how would you accept it. Like we normally say that a positive mindset and success both are proportional. Do you have any scientific evidence to prove that positive mindset or positive thinking helps in health also, like good health? Is there some
Yes.
evidence to prove that? Since you're
Yes.
from
That
the field, I
like if
thought
you go
I'd
for
ask
some
you.
uh-huh. If you go for a therapy, they always suggest that like get away from negative thoughts. So that's why they say like go for meditation. That calmness the body, whether you have depression or like negative thoughts or some worry habits in your life, that helps you to get away from that. Lots of psychology they explain that how you can modify your thinking habit. Like you may be like suffering from something else. Something happened in your life and you are not happy about it. That's bothering. So meditation is the kind of best medicine, I would say. So other than that, like there are so many articles there. You can look at that. That does help.
Yeah, definitely, because we, as we mature, we start realizing it. But I feel that it's going to be difficult to get it across to younger children. No doubt, I agree that you said children choose happiness over sadness, and they're always happy and are bubbling with joy. But still, explaining all these things to them, I don't know, it at times becomes difficult, because there's so much in pressure, the
That's
performance
true.
pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's think about it. Like children, there are different individualities, right? So not everyone has the same mental thought process. But when you have a like a baby or a kind of toddler or a very like a what do you call like a children going to kind of kindergarten, things like that, their brain power is different than growing up children. So that's there, yes. So that's why, like as a teacher, you need to have some like first you need to understand the psychology of the kind of student. I'll give an example. I need to work with like a cross-functional teams with the different people, different background and things like that. So
Mhm.
the kind of um, handling in the sense working with the person A to B differs definitely. So you need to handle, you need to adapt techniques that will work for A may not work for B. So you need to kind of modify that with that person's psychology, the background, the thinking habits, and things like that. That
Mhm.
does help.
Right. Right,
Mhm.
that's exactly the individualized education
Yes,
plans, as we call
yes.
them. Right.
Mhm.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah,
Thank you. That
yeah.
was helpful
You're
because
welcome.
connecting things is difficult. Thank you.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
One
Thank you, ma'am.
more
Thank you.
question in the YouTube channel. How can we convert negative thoughts to positive thoughts? A person will always be having negative thoughts, and how to
Mhm.
convert that?
It's all the willpower of the individual, like how you want to move away from that. Like I said, it happens in one's life, right? Like if you think about that, you are not going to move from that ground level. You need to get away from that. That's the elimination process. If you like you focus on that, like your positive things, like from the negative thinking to positive. That's why it is always people say that, oh, change is hard. Change is not hard. If you embrace change, like yes, this whatever happened in the past, it's done. But moving forward, this is how I'm going to do. The moment you switch that gear to from ground zero to like a level 1 or level 2 in a kind of progressive manner, you can definitely get away from negative.
Thank you very much,
You
ma'am.
need to make yourself very happy, like ignore that one so that you can focus on things that gives you a kind of positive energy. Then once you practice that, that will help you a lot.
Thank you very much, ma'am. So you have touched Dr. Vincent Norman Peale's Power of Positive Thinking. It is a beautiful analysis of that book. And since because you are working on PCR kids, you have given a lot of insights on this PCR kids, which all of us today talking about that. And thank you very much, ma'am, for this beautiful presentation. And now let me call the host, the organizing team, to propose the vote of thanks. Thank you, participants, for patiently listening to us.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Yes, let's
Welcome
take
to all.
Yes. Who is giving the vote of thanks?
Ma'am, Emima.
Yes. Okay. Emima. Okay. Come on.
Okay, ma'am. Good afternoon to all.
Yes, we can listen.
A vote of thanks on this occasion. On behalf of Annamal College of Education for Women, we would like to thank the speaker of Dr. Jaya Bhuminathan for taking her precious time out and presenting a resource person. I'm sure that the insights you have provided will help us to change our mindset to transform our teaching. Thank you, ma'am, for the excellent presentation and making this session interesting and meaningful. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you all. I hope it is so beneficial to you. Okay.
Yes.
I'll
Yes.
share the slides. I'll send the slides,
Okay,
Sharmila. So
Okay. 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 I'll share it with the participants, ma'am.
yes.
Those who are in the Telegram chat, you will get your PPT. Today's session's PPT will be posted in Telegram chat group.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. I wish to express my gratitude to our college secretary, Mr. S. Muralidharan, and our beloved principal, Dr. A. Joycelyn Sharmila, for their motivation, encouragement, and continued support in organizing this international capacity building course. On behalf of Annamal College of Education for Women, we express our heartfelt thanks to all the participants for paying your valuable attention. I hope it has been a great day for all of us. We thank you for being with us today. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank
Thank you.
for sharing about
Bye.
here also. Only
Sure.
yesterday I asked you, after seeing
Yes.
the profile, I asked you and immediately.
Yeah. Yeah. Because 2016, I went to Kuttalam, Sri
Okay.
Parasakti College. So they wanted me to talk about PCR. I prepared some slides, but it's a lot. So we cannot cover everything. I just pulled a couple of slides from there.
Okay. Thank you,
Yeah,
ma'am.
okay. You are welcome. All right then. Take care. Have a nice day.
Yes,
Bye.
you can
Thank you,
sleep
ma'am.
now and you can take rest since because tomorrow is off for you.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
All right then. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.